Welcome to another Scaffolding Software iRent tutorial. This tutorial is about projects and how to create, view and change projects. This is the main project grid for your current branch. Each customer can have an unlimited number of projects, and each project can have an unlimited number of areas, stages or scaffold tags. Each project row highlighted in red represents the projects that may be overdue for invoicing or overdue for inspections. When you mouse over each row entry in red here, you will actually see an alert at the top of the screen showing why it's red. So this project at the bottom here shows a project that is overdue for inspection. To add a new project, click on the New Project button on the top ribbon, and we can start data entry for our main project details. The project reference is the first field. It can be a project number, it can be a short version of the project name, or it can even be a short version of the customer name or location. In this example, the project is Pty Casino. So for this example, the project ref can be just Pty. So let me enter this in. Also, don't forget to enter the branch for the project, and also, as normal for all data entry, press Tab to go to the next field and press Shift Tab to go back one field. Project name is a common search field, so the name is important here, in this case Pty Casino. The customer name in this case will be Trump Constructions. We can actually begin typing the customer name, so I type in TRU and we notice that there is actually Trunk Constructions already in there with a K. So we can either select the existing customer using the arrows and pressing enter, or if security access allows, actually create a new customer by double-clicking on the customer name field. We can change the existing entry here, but instead, let's add our new customer here by clicking on Add. The first field is the customer code, which needs to be a unique shortened version of the customer name. In this case, Trump C. Press Tab again to enter the name and the rest of the details, including phone, address, and all the other information for the customer. The email addresses can be particularly important. The email entered here can be used for the quick and easy automatic emailing from the invoicing system. So the email here is trump@trump.com. And now I will type the full address here for the customer. I would like to remind you again that the ability to create a new customer may depend on your security preferences in setup. Okay, I have finished entering the address. You can complete the rest of the details, including customer type, business type, and sales rep. Click on Save to save the customer, and then click on Exit. Now back to the customer field, we can search for this new customer because it is now added to the list. Now when I type in TRU, you can see we have now Trump Constructions as well as Trunk Constructions. So we can now select the new customer that we just created and continue the data entry. Notice how the customer's billing address is already shown here. The next step is to enter the site details location. Having a separate site field within the project screen allows you to have more than one project on the same site, which will provide an extra level of detail for controlling inventory. Click on this Site Details tab, and here we have a choice of selecting an existing site or entering a new site. The site can actually be a name, address, city, industrial structure, or locale. So in this case, it could be the city. So we can search for a city by entering in the first few characters of the city name. And all locations for the same city name could actually appear together, which can help with searching. If I type in Putin Casino, you can see here as soon as I type in the letter P, we can see that Putin does not exist. I can select the existing site and use that if I want. And then I can make changes to it by clicking on the Edit Site Location button. In this case, I am not going to make changes, so I exit and type in a brand new site by entering in the full name, Putin Casino, and since it does not already exist, press Tab, and it opens the data entry form to the site. And all I need to do now is fill in the rest of the address. The address can be used for the iRent link to Google Maps for all sites, which is also a very handy feature. Let me just enter this address. I could also leave the address empty if I wanted to. Now click on Save to save the site, and then exit. And notice how this is a little bit different to the way customers can be selected and entered. Once I'm happy with the site details, I can continue entering in the project contact details and billing contact. Before I click on Save, let's pay attention to the invoice cycle. The invoice cycle should be 0 if you are performing general item billing at the end of each month. Otherwise, you can select an invoice cycle of 7, 14, or 28 days, and this invoice cycle is also what is used to highlight projects that are overdue for invoicing, as shown earlier. So I click on Save to save my work. Then I can click on the Stages and Charges tab for this particular project to enter in stage details, area, or even separate scaffold tags for this particular project. To do this, click on this plus sign near the middle right of the screen, and then a new stage is added with the cursor showing on the stage job reference field. You can have an unlimited number of stages per project, and we can enter them here. I can type in stage number 1 and enter in a stage description. This field usually represents the work being done, like perimeter scaffold or labour details. If it's a small job, you'll just have one stage with one project. In this case, I might create 2 different stages. And I'll type in the description here for the first one. You can enter in a PO, work order number, sort index, and additional billing details. When you are finished, click here to save this stage. For each stage, there are also job details to confirm that you want to track inventory for this job. and other fields such as job type and billing information. There are also some useful fields here in relation to delivery notes, where the delivery notes can be actually shown as an alert on the delivery, and jobs can also be put on hold as well. If you have access to our invoicing module, you will also have additional billing information you can enter in, as well as special charges. There's also a tab for inspections and internal remarks. Now we can save this stage again, and we can enter in another one. So I click on the plus sign again to enter in another project. Let's enter a job reference number 2. And of course we enter another job stage description. We press tab again and then click on the tick to save that as well. So here we have created 2 separate stages for this project. We have the Putin Casino project. We have Trump Constructions as the customer with the site details and 2 separate stages where we can track inventory for each individual stage and invoice for each individual stage for this project. When you click on the exit button and go back to the main project grid, you may need to click on the Show All button to refresh the grid to show the new project that was just created. This concludes our tutorial on projects.